In our riding technique series, we would like to show you smaller and more important things related to motorbike riding, which are all going to make your everyday rider's life easier and safer. Our series got to a very important episode again. We are going to speak about the cornering styles. According to that, how you are behaving and moving on the motorbike and how your body position related to the bike, we separate different cornering styles, and we have to point out at the very beginning that there is not the best solution. The only good solution is if you know all of them, and you can use any of them according to the circumstances you are just riding in. The most classic cornering style is the inline, or we also call it English style because it's coming from England many decades ago. This is really the most classic thing because we are just sitting on the motorbike and just pushing the inside handlebar and leaning down the bike, and we lean together with the bike. The only thing we move is our head, because we keep the horizon in a vertical position, and it's much better than if we lean our head as well. Let's check out how it is working.
So when you use the inline cornering style, then you just watch into the corner, push the inside handlebar and keep the line that you would like to keep, and move only your head. Otherwise you are just sitting on the motorbike and very comfortably you take the curve. The biggest advantage of this English or inline style is that when you have 700 or 1000 curves a day, then you are not going to tired because you have the less physical work with this style. And if you use this, then in the evening you will be able to lift up the biggest amount of beers from the three styles, and this is the biggest advantage.
The second style is what we call pushing style or French style, when we lean down the motorbike but our upper body is staying as close to the vertical as just possible, because with this we can find some advantages and one really huge disadvantage. Let's speak about the pushing style while riding. So this pushing style or French style has several advantages related to the inline or English style. Let's speak a few words about these. When you are leaning down the motorbike and you stay upways, on this way you have a narrower vehicle, so it's safer in several conditions. And in several corners you will see far away into the corner, so you have much more distance in front of you, which is also a very big safety factor for you. With this style you can make sharper direction changes. For example, we make the avoidings with this style in most of the cases. And also a big advantage that in the tight curves it's much easier to ride with this style. So it has really several big advantages, but there is one very big disadvantage. As the center of gravity of the motorbike, because of your upper body position, is moving upper than in the case of the other two styles, that's why the motorbike is leaned much more down than with the other two styles. That's why when you are riding with this pushing style, then some parts of the bike is going to reach the asphalt earlier. So with, for example, a big touring enduro, which is a high build motorbike and has narrower wheels, you can ride with this style even at higher speeds. But with a naked bike, when you reach the higher speeds, then the bike is going to reach its limits and you cannot use it anymore. So then you have to change the cornering style. And the third big category, because we have several solutions for this, is what we call, let's say, hanging off style, when we move our body or some parts of our body to the inside direction of the curve. And with this we would like to put the center of gravity of the whole motorbike, counted with ourselves of course, downer. The goal of this hanging off style is very simple. If the center of gravity is lower, then we have to lean the motorbike less in the curve, so we have some more safety area for the riding. We have several possibilities for this. We can move only our upper body, we can move our whole body like the MotoGP riders, or we can just put, we have to keep the knee contact and put our bottom only to the inside. That's what we call Spiegel styles. So there are several possibilities. The goal is always the same: make the center of gravity lower. Let's check out this one also while riding the bike, and let's see what is the big advantage of this and what are the disadvantages, because there are going to be a lot on public road riding.
So with the third big category, the hanging off style, you can do several things. You can lean only your upper body downer, or you can move with your whole body downer, or you can just move your button downer from the motorbike. The goal is always the same: make the center of gravity lower, as low as possible.
So when you use the hanging off style and you move with your body to the inner side of the motorbike, then the biggest advantage is very clearly that the center of gravity is lower, so your cornering speed is going to be the highest in this cornering style. But all the advantages that we had at the pushing or French style are coming out here as disadvantage. Changing the cornering line is the hardest with this style. Narrow or tight corners are very difficult, so in those corners it's not really working the best. You are going to get very tired because it's a lot of physical work. And the vehicle is very wide together with you, and you can see very little from the windshield or anything in front of your motorbike. So if you have any windshield and you are really down here with your head, then it covers very big area of the horizon. So for example, into a curve you will see much less when you have bushes or trees on the side of it. So several disadvantages related to one advantage, which is that when you are using this style, then the motorbike is going to be leaned less, so you have a little bit more safety area in the tires. This can be an advantage, but it has several disadvantages. The most important thing is that use it only if you are really let's say working well together with this style and you are practiced in it. And finally, let's mention one more huge advantage of the first showed style, the inline or English style. Because when you are riding with the inline style and something is changing inside the curve, there is dirt on the road, water on the road, the curve is getting much tighter than you were planning with it, or anything like this, then from the inline style you can change to the pushing style and to the hanging off style as well, anytime, within tenths of a second. For example, changing from hanging off to pushing style or in the other direction is always much more complicated. This is again a very big advantage of the inline cornering style. So closing the whole theme of cornering styles, we have to point out, as what I have already mentioned at the very beginning of the film, that the only good solution is that if you know all the possible cornering styles, you know which is good for your motorbike, because a touring enduro and a sport touring motorbike maybe needs totally different cornering styles. What is good, what of the three styles is good for yourself, your physical parameters, your whole mind, feeling and things like this. And if you know all of them, then you can choose the best possibility in those conditions in which you are just riding, because it's absolutely not the same what kind of asphalt you have, how your grip is, how wide the road is, how far you can see away in the curve, what kind of bushes and everything else you have on the side of right curve, for example. So according to the local conditions, you have to be able to choose the best one for yourself and use always that one which is the best for that area. This is the only way that you can become relatively fast and the safest possible rider. If anybody is saying that this is the only good cornering style, then don't believe him or her, because that's not correct. If you liked our film, please push a thumb up on it. In the description under the video you can find the link where you can donate our work. If you do it, then we will send all of our films to you before their publicity. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe for our channel and watch our previous films and reviews as well. Thanks a lot for your kind attention.